Every morning, someone left Eva's bakery with fresh bread. But no one in the village had ever seen the customer. The strange part wasn't that the bread disappeared. The strange part was that whenever it did, the entire bakery was perfectly clean before sunrise, fresh dough was ready, the ovens were warm, and ingredients were neatly arranged, as if someone had worked there all night. The villagers whispered only one word. A Jinn. Eva never denied it. Because she knew the truth was far more unbelievable than anyone could imagine. High in the snowy mountains of Switzerland, nestled among flower-filled meadows and wooden cottages, stood a tiny village famous for its peaceful charm. In the heart of that village was a little bakery called Eva's Sweet Oven. Every morning, the delicious aroma of fresh bread, buttery croissants, warm cinnamon buns, rich chocolate cakes, and handmade Swiss chocolates floated through the streets. The bakery belonged to a kind young woman named Eva. Everyone admired her talent. They said her chocolates melted like silk, her cakes tasted like happiness, and her bread filled every home with warmth. But Eva carried a secret fear. She was terrified of the dark. Since childhood, she had believed stories about jinn and spirits wandering at night beneath old trees and empty roads. As soon as the evening sun disappeared behind the mountains, Eva locked her bakery, hurried home, and never looked back. She lived only with her elderly mother, who often smiled gently and said, "Kind hearts have nothing to fear." But Eva never believed those words. Until one unforgettable night. Only 3 days before the annual village harvest festival, something wonderful happened. The mayor announced the biggest celebration the village had ever seen. People from nearby towns and cities would visit. Within hours, Eva's bakery was flooded with orders. Hundreds of chocolate boxes. Dozens of wedding-sized cakes. Fresh breads. Golden buns. Fruit pastries. Cookies. Chocolate truffles. By sunset, her notebook was completely full. Eva stared at the mountain of orders. "If I finish these," she whispered to herself, "Mother and I can finally buy our own home, and expand this little bakery." But there was one problem. 3 days were not enough. She had no workers. No assistants. No family besides her mother. That evening, after taking a deep breath, Eva did something she had never done before. She kept the bakery open after sunset. Outside, darkness slowly covered the village. Every creak made her jump. Every rustling leaf frightened her. The ancient oak tree beside the bakery looked darker than ever. Then, someone knocked. Eva's hands trembled. Slowly, she opened the door. Standing outside was a tall figure with glowing blue eyes, wearing flowing emerald robes. He wasn't human. He was a jinn. Eva nearly screamed. The jinn quickly raised both hands. "Please don't be afraid," he said gently. "I mean no harm. I live inside the old oak tree beside your bakery. For years I've watched people smile while eating your bread. I always wished to visit. But you closed your shop before nightfall every single day." Eva slowly relaxed. The jinn smiled kindly. "The smell of your fresh bread reached my tree tonight. I couldn't resist." Eva handed him a warm loaf of bread and a slice of chocolate cake. His eyes sparkled with delight. "I have never tasted anything so wonderful." Then he noticed the huge stacks of ingredients. So much flour, chocolate, butter. "Why?" Eva told him everything. The festival. The dream house. Her mother's happiness. Her wish to expand the bakery. The Jinn looked around the empty kitchen. "You're doing all this alone?" Eva nodded. The Jinn smiled. "Then allow me to help." In return, he laughed softly. "Just give me one piece of bread and one slice of cake every day." Eva hesitated. Then she remembered her mother's words. "Kind hearts have nothing to fear." She smiled. "You have a deal." That night became magical. While Eva mixed chocolate, the Jinn kneaded dough. While cakes baked in the oven, he decorated cookies with impossible speed. Bread rose perfectly. Chocolate cooled beautifully. The kitchen was filled with laughter instead of fear. Together they worked until sunrise. For 3 nights they never stopped. When the festival began, every single order was finished. Not one customer was disappointed. The villagers were amazed. How did Eva do all this alone? They couldn't understand. But everyone left smiling. Months passed. Eva bought a beautiful little wooden house for herself and her mother. She expanded the bakery into the most famous sweet shop in the valley. Travelers came from distant places just to taste her chocolates. Every night, after closing, she placed one loaf of bread and one slice of cake near the back door. The Jinn always visited. Sometimes she saw him. Sometimes she didn't. But every morning the bakery was spotless. Fresh ingredients were neatly arranged. The ovens were cleaned. The flour sacks were organized. It became their silent friendship. Then one autumn afternoon, an old traveler entered the bakery. His beard was white. His walking stick looked ancient. He smiled politely. "My dear, I've heard your bakery became famous almost overnight. What is your secret?" Eva simply smiled. "Hard work." The old man watched carefully. He noticed the untouched loaf of bread waiting beside the back door. His eyes narrowed. That night he secretly hid behind the oak tree. At midnight, the gentle Jinn appeared. Suddenly the old man threw glowing chains into the air. The chains wrapped around the Jinn. His disguise vanished. He wasn't an old traveler. He was a powerful Jinn hunter. "If I capture you," he laughed, "your magic will belong to me forever." The frightened Jinn struggled to escape. Eva heard the noise. She ran outside. Without thinking about danger, she grabbed the glowing chains with both hands. The magic burned her palms. Still she refused to let go. With one powerful pull, the chains snapped. The Jinn became free. The hunter screamed in anger. The village bell suddenly rang loudly. People rushed outside. Seeing everyone gathering, the hunter disappeared into the darkness forever. The Jinn looked at Eva with grateful eyes. "You risked your life to save me." Eva smiled warmly. "You once helped me build my dream. How could I ever abandon my friend?" The Jinn knew staying near the village would only attract more hunters. "It is safer if I travel far away." Eva felt tears in her eyes. "But I promise," he said. "I'll visit whenever I can." He vanished into the night. From that day onward, Eva always left one fresh loaf of bread and one slice of chocolate cake beside the bakery door before sleeping. Sometimes, by morning, the food was gone. Sometimes it remained untouched. But on the mornings when the bread disappeared, the kitchen was always perfectly clean. Fresh groceries were neatly arranged. Chocolate was prepared. Flour was restocked. The oven shined like new. Eva would simply smile. My old friend came last night. She never feared the darkness again. Because she had learned that not every creature hidden in the night was evil. Sometimes, the greatest friendships are found where we least expect them. Eva, her mother, and the gentle Jinn each found a place they could finally call home. And every loaf of bread and every piece of chocolate carried a little reminder that kindness can change even the oldest fears into the sweetest memories.
Like, share, and subscribe for more. And do leave a comment if you like this story.